Hi there.
How are you?
I'm alright. Just chilling, enjoying life, working and chilling.
You're having your full-on awesome summer, aren't you?
Yes.
Despite all the
exactly.
work, you're also having lots of fun.
Yes, exactly. And
Are
so,
you going to update us on your first date?
Updates.
Really is the point I'm getting at.
Yes, well, the update is I went on the date, so I had to get up early in the morning to go for this really nice early morning, almost sunrise
Yes,
walk
by the lakes.
by the lakes. And it was really, really nice. Anyway, so met him there, and yeah, we walked around the lake. We walked quite far around the lakes, actually. It was really, really nice.
I think you're forgetting the most important point.
I had my Hobsy with
You had your Hobsy.
me.
It was Hobbsy's first
It
date.
was Hobsy's first date.
Oh, my two girls off on their first date.
Yeah, exactly. She was so sweet. I mean, when I woke her up in the morning, she was like, "What?
What time do you call
you
this?"
think you're doing?" And she was just like, "Okay, why are we going so early in the morning?" And then she was like, "Ooh la la, who is this guy?"
She flirted her way through this date, didn't she?
She flirted so much, and then even she doesn't ever dig holes. She's not a digging holes kind of dog. She's never really done that. She maybe does it like once or twice, but like in a year. Anyways, and next thing we kind of settled on this kind of slightly beachy area, rocky beachy area. Next thing, Hob starts going crazy, digging loads of cannonball pits.
She's showing off.
Yeah.
Saying, look what I can do.
I have hobbies. I'm into stuff.
Yes, I have hobbies.
And I'm just looking at her going, just by the way, and I was chatting to him, I was going, she doesn't do this. This is brand new. This is something completely different. Anyways, and then we swam a little bit.
All three of you.
Yeah, all three of us, Hobbs especially, chucked some sticks for her, and then walked.
She had some breakfast as well.
And had some brekkie as well, because it was morning, peeps.
Yes.
And then we walked back, which was just nice and chill.
Yeah. So a really nice first date.
It was a really nice first date,
so
actually.
you've set the bar. Any future first dates
has to be
with anyone. It needs to be as good as that.
Yeah, and what was nice, I would say that the walking part was the nicest because there's no awkwardness because you're just walking,
it's the best
you're doing
thing to
stuff.
do. You're both facing the same way. You're
Exactly.
not eyeballing each other.
No.
It's so easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the best way to get to know someone, I think.
And I would say the more awkward bit was when we had to sit down and
of course,
swim and that kind of stuff.
Look at each other.
Yeah. I don't want to look at you.
So any more dates in the pipeline?
Well, then, because he knew that I kind of work over the weekend, but he knew that I have kind of like a break between my midday slot and my evening slot at the restaurant. And anyway, so he was like, me and my friend, we're going swimming at the lakes again, but like just swimming, not like walking around. We're just kind of going to go onto the beachy bit, the main bit, and swim a whole load. And I was like, sounds absolutely great. It was going to be a bit hot. I always get hot after work, so it's nice to cool down between.
Perfect.
So I met him and his friend. And his friend actually is someone that I've known since I was 10, so for ages now.
Oh,
for years.
So childhood friend,
but I'd kind of lost contact with him when he went away to uni. I was obviously still at school because we were at the same school together. He went away to uni, then I just kind of lost contact with him, and so it was really cool seeing him again. He has not changed in himself at all. He's obviously physically he's changed,
kind of stretched.
He's stretched and he's broader, and he obviously works out quite a lot.
Right.
But he's exactly the same personality. He's got exactly the same. And he's just lovely. Anyway, so it was really fun to do that. And I had like an hour to swim and just generally do that. And they had cycled over. Yeah. So that was really nice.
How nice. Yeah, so you're having a lot of fun.
Exactly.
And then you might be doing something as well today, this evening,
possibly
at the lakes again.
But yeah.
It's the time to be taking advantage of the lakes. It's
summer.
Nice and warm. It's the summer.
Yeah.
Enjoy life, sweetie.
Exactly.
I'm really happy that you're doing all that.
Yeah.
And you went out for nice drinks afterwards with your work team, didn't you?
I did.
On Sunday evening.
It was
really a little fete going on.
Yeah, our boss, who's absolutely lovely, he said, I'm taking you guys out for drinks. I'm going to buy you some rounds of drinks. And so, because there was like the village kind of I don't know if you'd call it fete, festival, just it was pretty big because there was like a big stage and loads of all sorts of things going on, music and loads of bars and stuff like
dancing.
that. Exactly. So we went out after work, we got changed and then went out. And it was just really, really nice because even though I wasn't drinking.
Well, you were drinking Fanta.
Yeah, but that kind of drinking, not drinking. Anyways, it was really, really nice because we just all had a nice time, and they were so cool about it. The amount of people I've kind of talked to are like, oh yeah, how come you don't drink and that kind of stuff. And it was just nice to be around people who were like, yeah, frankly, I think it's so cool that you don't
live and let live.
Live and let live. I'm not there going, oh, you guys are drinking. Exactly. That's so weird. I'm not.
Each to their own.
Exactly.
So it's nice. So like I say,
lovely.
I'm really happy you're having this lovely summer. You worked so hard during term time, and just to let your hair down a bit, have some fun. And you're working hard with this job as well, so it's just great.
Exactly.
Enjoy.
Well, that's been me.
Back with your head in the books come September.
Yes, exactly. So how have you been?
Oof.
Yeah,
well,
a little different.
Conversely, my summer's not panning out quite so well.
No.
I've mostly been working with dramas at work. I have a client who wasn't 100% happy with the service that my team provided for her. And we guarantee 100% satisfaction. So we immediately offered a redo and she declined. And instead she wanted a refund, which is quite unusual that immediately that was her go-to was, no, I just want a refund. But this was all via email. She refused to take any phone calls.
Which is weird in itself.
Yeah, I couldn't hear the tone that these emails were being written in, but they changed over the course of our dealings with her. It seemed like a different personality almost. And I think now I'm aware because essentially her husband got involved. So we told her that we would fully investigate, and within an hour her husband had put a 1-star Google review calling us a shameful scam, which was a bit of a shocker. I'm not too worried as we've got hundreds of reviews and a 4.9. Well, we did have a 4.9 rating. Because of his review, that's now dropped to 4.8. But that's okay.
The douchebag.
It's still all right. I'm quite happy with it. But it was more the reactiveness and the unreasonableness of it that threw me. We were communicating fully with his wife. We were following standard procedure to investigate the issue. And then next thing,
whammo.
Kablamo. And then shortly after that Google review, we received an email from the husband telling us that he intends to sue unless we refund 50%.
Which is so much.
So much.
For the amount of work that was done.
It's mad. And it was also a very reactive email. It was very aggressive. It was quite intimidating. Yeah. It was bullying.
It was blackmail as well.
Blackmail.
It's like, if you don't do this, we will do this.
Yes.
You better do what I say.
And it was clearly written in a rush. There were lots of spelling mistakes and basically sounding like he was letting his emotions get away with him.
Bit hormonal. Little luteal.
So we're currently getting all the info up together, from the team. We're getting statements from them. We're getting photos, checklist, metadata, all of that. And then we'll respond in a calm and professional and factual manner.
Yes, you've got to. You don't stoop to his level.
Down. Calm down,
baby.
Calm down, baby. Calm down, love. Anyway, we'll see where that goes. So it's meant that, a lot of my attention's been on that. It's been great that you've been off having fun because I can live vicariously through that whilst I deal with this. We get these every now and then.
Yeah.
Just someone being very reactive. So anyway, I've had a nice couple of walks through the garden, which always helps.
That is nice.
And what I'm noticing in the veg garden, which is looking extremely lush despite the lack of rain because we have got our drip irrigation in there.
Yep.
Also, it's flourishing because of all the green manure. I've established what it all is. It's rye, because that was one of the green manures that you put down, wasn't it?
It was.
So our veg is growing up and in and amongst the rye grass.
Yeah.
But I'm at peace knowing that it's a green manure crop.
Yeah, exactly. It all just looks really lush. And I just remember when we had kind of the similar heat, similar sun just glaring down on the plants, even though we had the drip feed, I remember them all like leaves would get a little bit scorched,
very much so,
sizzled, frankly.
And the earth, the bare earth, because we used to have a lot of bare earth showing, and that was baked, and it worryingly so, despite the drip irrigation. This year, it just is lush.
It's a proper rainforest. Like, I mean, it's hard to walk through, so I've got to do like a bit of weeding either today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Keep it a little bit in check.
Yeah.
And then it's just looking amazing, and I don't want to rip it out. I don't want to destroy this perfect balance, which
it's in equilibrium
created
right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to see bare earth ever again.
No.
I can't believe now, with everything I've learned from all the chit-chats we have from, segments on Gardener's World about it, I've learned so much about how to look after your earth, and especially conversations with people like Joshua Sparks. That one really, I took so much away from that chit-chat. So now, not having any bare earth showing, having your polyculture in there, you can immediately see everything looks happier. Every plant looks amazing, as opposed to just fighting for its life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the way forward for sure.
I'm so happy. Like, we've got loads of tomatoes which are coming.
Yep.
And you've got these beautiful sulphur, not Coreopsis, Cosmos.
The Cosmos, yes.
And it looks amazing. And then you've got loads of basil. Like, actually, the other day, and I didn't have my phone on me, so I wasn't able to take a photo of it. But we had this beautiful burgundy basil underneath, because we got them really mixed in the plants. Oh, and by the way, we've got loads of chilies coming, by the way.
Oh, great.
They look amazing.
Oh, fantastic. What colour are they?
I think they're meant to be jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
Which are my favourite,
frankly. Are they red yet?
No, they're very, very much green, but they're big. So they're really decent. I would say like a few inches long.
Which bed are they in?
They're in the tomato bed.
Great.
They're all amongst the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Anyways, there was this beautiful burgundy basil, and then what had happened was a whole load of these bright orange petals from the Cosmos had kind of fallen onto it, and so there this juxtaposition of that deep purple with that bright orange.
Oh, I can imagine.
Looked amazing, and they had fallen perfectly onto the leaves.
Oh.
So you
that's just a shame you didn't get a photo of that.
It was so I was like, oh no! Why didn't I have my phone on me?
You never have your phone on you, though.
No, because when I'm in the garden, I'm in the garden.
Which is a good thing.
I think so.
Well, in other news, Monty had his 43rd wedding anniversary last Wednesday.
Aww.
Big congrats to Monty and your wife. Also, we visited Kew Gardens this summer, didn't we?
We did.
And we're going to put together some stuff on that, probably on our Patreon.
Lots of photos.
When probably after the summer, things will start kicking off again on all that.
Yeah, when
we got photos, and we took a lot of notes from our various trips around the country.
Yeah, exactly. Little audio clips as well.
Yes, and Kew was one of those places we visited. Well, apparently they are renovating the Palm House.
Ooh.
And that's going to take place in next year, 2027. Gosh. It's going to take around 4 years. It's a £60 million project. Can you imagine how long, how the stress of getting that going, the responsibility you have as the project manager of a project that big.
Oh my,
and that's important.
Gosh. Yeah, exactly. Also, it's one of those things where once you've started, there's no
you've got to keep
back.
going.
You've got to
pause anything, can you?
No, exactly.
But it explains why the lily, the pond lilies that we were trying to see, that was all closed at the time because that's being done.
Which is such a shame. I still wanted to see the Amazonica.
Yes,
was Japonica? No, something like that.
The Amazonica, isn't it?
It's the Amazonica, but something else.
Yes.
Anyways, it's the giant water lilies, the ones which you can sit babies on.
Yeah, exactly. Carefully. That was closed, but we did get to see the Palm House just before it's closed. So good that we went then. Otherwise, we'd be waiting 4 years before we could see any of that. So we timed that just right, sweetie.
We did.
Right, I have some housekeeping from last week.
Okay.
First of all, I was wondering about using Epsom salt versus salt on your plants.
Oh, yeah. For the magnesium and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't realise Epsom salt is just completely different to other salts, your table salt. Epsom salt is a mineral compound used in rare cases to add magnesium and sulphur to soil, whereas normal salt, so table salt, is sodium chloride and acts as a toxic weed killer that just ruins the soil. So very, very, very different. Don't be putting your table salt on in the absence of Epsom salts.
Oh my gosh, very different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless you're trying to kill a load of weeds. And I do use table salt for killing weeds.
Yeah, very good.
Rightly or wrongly. On paths.
Mm-hmm.
Then finally, I was wondering about the pink and orange roses on one rose. What was the name of that rose? Can you remember from last week?
Oh,
the French name.
Yes, it was. I'm going to have a look for you. I have my notes. It was called Bordure Camus. Yes, that was it. Bordure Camus.
Okay. And I was wondering, could it be because of pollinators?
Yeah.
You were saying it's the different stages.
Yeah.
So this is the official line. The tight flower buds start as a bright yellow and orange, and then as they open, they reveal a mix of pink, apricot, cream, and burnt orange.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, as they're exposed to more light, it causes the pigments to lighten and soften, creating that kind of multicolored kaleidoscope effect on the same plant. So you were right. It's the different stages
Great.
of that plant.
Cool.
Well, shall we have a look at this week's Gardener's World?
I think we should.
I'm grateful that it's not another show.
Yes.
Festival. What do you call them? Flower show?
Yeah, flower shows. Because they are long.
Well, they're long. There's trying to cram too much into too small a space. So kind of doing a half-assed job on loads of things instead of a fully arsed job on a few things.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So let's have a look. We're back at Longmeadow. Good news. This is Gardener's World 2026, episode 20 recap.
Off we go.
Monty's trimming his lavender.
Yes, he is. Apparently it's finished flowering, which is quite early. He says don't cut into the old wood because then you won't get any new growth. And it does get baggier and baggier, kind of shaggier and shaggier.
He says it gets, because you basically get more and more of the old wood as time goes on, but they don't give any idea of what you can do about that.
I don't think you can do anything about it.
Well, but what do you do? So is he pulling up the plants once they get to a certain stage and replacing them, or is he planting around them to cover the woody bits with some lower growing plant?
I feel like he's probably just taking them out and then putting some new ones in.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
And he moves on to his mound. He's rather chuffed with it, isn't he?
Yeah.
He made it from all the waste material when they built the garden.
Yeah, exactly.
Also very chuffed with his bananas.
Yeah, which are exposed. There are a few on different kind of in the different areas. Yeah, different aspects of it. And some are doing better than others. That just depends on the wind exposure.
Yeah. And then he wheels off into the jewel garden and he's looking at those beautiful opium poppy seed heads.
Gorgeous.
Opium poppies, all poppies are great, aren't they? In flower, and then the seed head. Opium poppy seed heads especially are lovely.
Yes.
And he shows all these little holes in them, and that's where the birds have been getting at the seeds.
Yeah. Gosh, that's such a memory of with my granddad. He would always collect the poppy seeds.
Yeah.
And then he'd either put them in some of his bread or would keep them for then the next year to scatter.
Were these opium poppy seeds?
No, these were just normal poppies.
They didn't go into the bread.
No.
I wonder if you'd have problems with that.
Hola, chica, ¿qué pasó?
A new spring in your granddad's step.
Quite a spring.
Sorry, he's just having his homemade bread again. What's in this bread you speak of?
His poor ankles are suddenly fine.
Oh, your granddad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Monty's putting in some more plants.
Yes, he is. So he's putting in Helenia Moorheim Beauty and Niphophia Mango Popsicle. Love the name of that one.
I do as well.
And frankly, I liked the look of it because it wasn't kind of garish or kind of the vulgar ones that you can get.
Like ours.
Was just...
You don't like ours at all, do you?
I really don't like them.
Our red hot pokers, they flower much earlier on than these ones, though, don't they?
And they're just like a stick with then just...
Yeah, just pretty brutish.
They're really brutish and they just look kind of... Yeah, there's something nasty about them. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I love this one. And he just says, water lots because it's dry, people.
And use a hose if you haven't got a hose pipe ban, which is also what he's saying there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're then with Adam, and Adam went off to Barnsdale to Geoff Hamilton's old garden in Oakham, Rutland. And of course, we mentioned last week there were all these episodes to do with Geoff because it's the 30th anniversary of his death.
Yeah, he died quite suddenly.
Yes, apparently he died at the age of 59 from a heart attack. He was doing a charity bike ride.
Gosh.
So very, very young.
And that's really unfair because he's someone who was outdoors and just generally in the good fresh air, and you think, oh, he's gardening.
And he was someone who's contributing to this world as well, rather than taking away from it. So very, very sad to hear.
And then you got Donald Trump, and he's just this old fat guy.
Okay,
and he's not
all right.
dying anytime soon.
Just let's not make this too political right now. We're talking about the lovely Geoff Hamilton. Let's
Geoff
not muddy the
Hamilton.
waters with the orange
Dude.
man.
Mm.
Must have been lovely for Adam going back over to Barnsdale, because of course he worked there with Geoff, and he is so fond of Geoff, isn't he? We often hear him mention him. He clearly had some very, very happy times working alongside Geoff when he was a young chap.
Yeah, he was there from the age of 21, apparently.
Amazing. And he talks about the obelisks with pom-poms on top. He talks about those compost bins that look like beehives.
Yeah.
What a great idea that was.
Yeah, so much reclaimed things. There's even a reclaimed garden. So
yes, exactly.
All about doing things on the cheap. And so Geoff was really into propagating and just generally doing things from seeds, collecting seeds, reusing them.
The overriding thing that Adam says, and is also on the website for Barnsdale, is that Geoff was a real forward thinker.
Yeah.
So he was way ahead of his time in terms of all sorts of things. And he didn't just follow the same set of rules. He was always trialing things and always trying to improve upon things and find better ways of doing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that a lot. It must have been such an interesting man to be around.
Yeah, even down to his aesthetic. I didn't know that he was kind of round at the time when you were still kind of post-war.
Yeah.
And so everyone was very much kind of
order.
Yeah,
a lot of order.
Lots of order. And then what they were wearing, it was kind of like nice trousers.
A tie.
Jumper.
Gardening in a tie.
Oh my gosh. But he was like, right, I'm going to whack on this jumper that has a few holes, a few pulled threads and some shaggy jeans, and we're going to go for it.
Well, we see the artisan's cottage garden, the gentleman's cottage garden.
Yeah, 2 different ones, so he could appeal to as many people as possible, which I think that's absolutely lovely. I can imagine lots of younger people are like, oh, well, he's got this huge garden, but he's still doing things on the cheap.
Yeah. And Adam shows an area where there are some sort of bricks that apparently he cut each of those bricks and the pots to make these paths and this lovely sort of mosaic almost, wasn't it, with a circle with the ends of the pots and the curve of the pots creating the circle.
Exactly.
Such good fun he had back then. It must have really been a walk down memory lane for him.
I think so. It must have been just so lovely. And the garden, frankly, was looking gorgeous.
Stunning. I liked that they did those clips back to Geoff back in the day. And then we see that one of where he's talking about the radioactive tomatoes from the American Space Agency. They give them to him. And so he's growing them to see how they coped after having spent 5.5 years in space.
Yeah.
And they grew. And he says, am I going to eat them?
No.
Not on your life.
I would not be going.
I wouldn't even be touching them.
I wouldn't. I'd
have my Geiger counter set up non-stop. I'd go in a hazmat suit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'd be literally going.
Exactly.
With my gloves and everything. And you know, like in The Martian. No, not The Martian. One of those things where they put it's The Martian where they put the gloves into the sort of tank. Yeah, where they've got this alien and then the alien grabs the hands and everything.
Yeah, that
it's like a horror film. I haven't watched it, you just told me. But I can imagine doing that around this tomato plant and then the tomato plant turning to me with a face and going, I'm radioactive.
Oh my God. You've taken that down a whole different route.
Yeah,
this isn't what Gardener's World we're trying to represent here.
We could go far with this idea.
Geoff suggested to Adam to have that reclaimed garden that you mentioned, and so Adam was responsible for creating it, and they won Best in Show for it.
Oh my gosh, proud moment.
And then, so that must have been right at the time when he passed away, sadly, because Adam says Geoff never saw the garden built back at Barnsdale. So it must have been just around that time that he had the
heart attack.
The heart attack. Then we meet one of Geoff's sons. That's one of 3 sons of his. This one is Nick, and he's carrying on the legacy.
Yeah, exactly. And he's all about being organic and peat-free. And so once again, just generally
forward-thinking,
not thinking, oh, we have to do things like it was done a few days ago. It has to always be new and
progressing.
Yeah, exactly. Evolving.
And likewise, he was an advocate of wildflower meadows, which wouldn't have been the done thing back then because there wasn't order in that, was there?
No, way too crazy.
A really lovely segment, I thought. It was a very nice sort of homage, really,
exactly.
to Geoff.
And also Monty's going to be doing that programme as well.
Well,
Geoff.
they happened actually the other week. So I put links on our webpage for last week's recap.
Oh, good.
There are links to the where they are on iPlayer, but last week it was just telling you it was coming up. Whereas now, if you go back to that page, click on those links, they now take you directly to the actual videos of those episodes. So
that's good to
check
know.
them out there. Well, Barnsdale is Britain's biggest collection of individually designed gardens.
Really?
I don't think they mention.
No.
There are 38 themed gardens across the 8-acre site.
I mean, I had an idea that there were quite a lot.
Yeah.
But that's really awesome.
Do you want to hear what some of the others are called?
Yes.
There's the Modern Estate Garden.
Mm-hmm.
We heard and saw the Artisan's Cottage Garden and the Gentleman's Cottage Garden. There's the Town Paradise Garden. That's an enclosed walled oasis built for the Paradise Gardens TV series.
Oh, okay.
There's Country Paradise Garden. That's a bit larger, more scenic variation. There's the Reclaim Garden, which Adam built. The First Time Garden. That's an easy-to-manage layout built specifically for novice gardeners.
Oh,
Isn't it just great to have all these gardens?
Yeah.
A Plantsman's Garden. That's focusing on high botanical variety. The Land's End Garden. That's a themed displayed garden originally built for commercial clients.
Cool.
A country garden, courtyard garden, Japanese garden, a Versailles garden, rose garden, formal pool and knot garden. So all sorts. I'm not going to list all 38, but it's actually how my dream garden would be, which is lots and lots of garden rooms, because I can't decide on any one particular type that I like. So to be able to have the opportunity to have a Japanese garden where it's all calm and serene, your raked sands. And then you've got your, I don't know, wild meadow garden, a knot garden as well. It'd be fantastic.
It would be absolutely brilliant. I'd love to do that.
Well, I've put a link on our website to Barnsdale Gardens, and you can see to that specific page that shows the list of all the gardens, so you can check those out afterwards.
Great.
Monty's at the end of the cricket pitch. It's completely scorched, all the grass, totally scorched. If it looks dead, though, don't worry. As soon as the rains come, that'll all be all right.
Absolutely.
We know that because most years our grass looks pretty done for.
Like I was looking at photos actually from like a few years ago. And it was so dry. I remember it cracking under the feet.
That was in lockdown, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just kind of
that year. Yeah, it must be 2020 then.
Yeah, exactly. And the grass after that was absolutely fine.
No worries at all.
No worries.
And it's been nice not to have to mow or trim. I appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're looking at Monty's tomatoes.
Yeah, so he's got the Tomatoes Gardener's Delight. He's got that outside and in the greenhouse. And he says the outside ones are doing absolutely fantastic. It's just the hot weather is perfect. So frankly, he was saying, I'm not sure if I need to do them in the greenhouse anymore.
No.
They don't
it's
need
a bit redundant for a while, I think, the greenhouse.
It's a little bit redundant. Like, sure, maybe for melons and stuff like that, which really need a specific
that's true,
climate.
yeah.
But tomatoes, I think you can really start having them outside. Anyway, so he's pinching out the side shoots. Very important just to keep that.
Is it though?
General upgrowth.
If you head over to Farida's Instagram, I'll put a link to it. Farida Sober, who is of course famous for her amazing sea snails. We've had her on a chit chat. She is showing photos of the most prolific number of tomatoes. Same with her cucumbers. She has all the cucumbers you can imagine from one cucumber plant.
Yeah.
She has more tomatoes than you can shake a stick at. And she doesn't take off the side shoots. She just leaves them as nature intended. So I am not sold on the taking off the side shoots. Everything that Monty says about it makes absolute sense, in terms of the science of it, and you want to get all the energy to the fruits. But then I see someone like Farida who has got everything going on the tomato front.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
I know what you mean. And actually, it's a good point because this year there are loads of side shoots on our tomato plants, which I forgot to do. And they got really big, started flowering, and now have loads of tomatoes on them. And so I thought, I'm not going to cut them off.
No, just leave them.
And they're absolutely fine and they're ripening and everything.
I'm glad you're not taking off the side shoots. I thought we'd had a convo about this.
Did you think we had a convo about this?
I thought we had a convo, so I'm glad you're not, even if it's by
pure mistake.
Pure mistake.
Yep. Well, he said do take off like the bottom load of leaves from the kind of first.
So that I get
truss.
because you need some ventilation through,
Yeah,
don't you? Because
exactly.
you don't want to get all the blights and
whatnots
rots and things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really easy to do, frankly. It just kind of allows that air and light as well. And then he shows the indoor tomatoes. They're slightly different. They're getting quite a lot of blossom end rot just because they're not getting enough water because it's like so baking hot.
What did he say, 45 degrees or something?
45 degrees, which I can imagine because our greenhouse can get up to some crazy levels, so I have to put that netting across. Anyway, so
you mean the fleece across the windows?
Exactly, just to really kind of block out the light a bit more. So just really, all in all, the tomatoes outside are doing really well this year.
Yeah. So moral of the story is ditch your greenhouse.
Ditch your greenhouse, smash it down.
Don't. We're not advocating
that. Do that
at all.
It's a fantastic thing in the winter. I love it.
Your favourite place?
My favourite place.
Then we're off to meet Sharon Preddy in her amazing tropical garden at Seven Sisters in Neath, West Glamorgan.
Yes.
She says how she's always loved gardening. She's gardened since she was a child. And then she opens a gate into a gorgeous tropical space. She says it's 9.5 metres by 11.5 metres. And the plant that started it all off was
a trachycarpus.
Yes.
Starts off a lot of tropical gardens, I think, that plant.
Yes, I think so as well. She's lived there over 30 years, and it was in 2018 that the tropical style really kicked off.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to list some of the plants that she had in her garden. Of course, these will be on the plant list. The plant list is actually quite small this week. There weren't a huge amount of plants.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because your dog is rolling into you.
She's just rolled.
Pushing herself up against your mic stand, kicking your legs out the way. She's very comfortable there, isn't she?
She's upside down. Anyways, so we had the trachycarpus. Then we had this Heptapleurum taiwanianum. That likes it drier, then it doesn't like it too wet. She has a Sontrus fruticosus. That's that tree dandelion plant.
Loved. I've never heard of that, and I loved it. She says she cuts off the flowers because she doesn't like the flowers.
Which I can kind of understand.
Well, I looked up the flowers because I'm a big advocate of dandelions. They're one of my favourite plants as well. I truly do love them. And the thought of having something like that in a tree form almost, this great big thing. The flowers are very dandelion-y.
Very much so.
So I would be keeping my flowers on for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy. The leaves look like a dandelion, the flowers look like a dandelion.
It's all part of the Asteraceae family.
Yeah.
So they are related in that extent, but then everything's part of the Asteraceae family. Isn't it the biggest family? And
it's one of the biggest.
I feel like it was the biggest, but anyway.
I know that the orchid family is also
really
big.
We'll check that out, shall we?
Yeah, I can't remember which one's first, but I know I've definitely looked at it before. She says, firstly, that stays indoors. Then you can go out, but you want to keep it a little bit protected.
Oh, what, the tree dandelion?
Yeah, the tree dandelion.
Oh, I missed that. That goes indoors first, does it?
First year.
Right. Oh.
Because it's like a really young little thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is understandable. Anyways, it cuts the flowers off, as you said. Then we have the Tetrapanis papyrifer. We love that.
She planted that 6 years ago and absolutely enormous now.
It's a whopping huge.
I thought that was also something that she protected but doesn't need to now. It's big enough and strong enough.
Okay. And then she had the Roostafina. This was a really cool plant. It can be a little bit challenging, but it's a beautiful maple-like glow to it, but it's not quite a maple. It's kind of.
That's the one that's also called an autumn lace, is it?
Yes.
With the red stems.
Yeah, precisely.
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then she says about her Musabaju plant as well. Absolutely love those.
And how she protects those. She uses chicken wire filled with straw and then tarpaulin over the top.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because we had the chit chat with Dermot Gavin and we talked about protecting plants because he's got a lot of tree ferns, for example.
And he doesn't
do anything because he doesn't want to look out the window at just a load of tarpaulin, I guess.
Candy floss.
Is that how he described it?
Well, that's how I'd describe it. Because you've got all these kind of poofs of kind of netting and all sorts going on. Yeah, exactly. Which I can completely and utterly understand. And then she also says how she has the pineapple lilies. That's the eucomis.
Yes, they were cool.
agaves and succulents and hostas, and they're all in pots, really, just so she can look after them a bit better.
And the eucomis are pollinated by flies.
Yes, they are.
And she wraps it all up by saying she's pleased with it. It's a lot of work, but it's enjoyable work.
Yeah.
And it really worked well. I thought that it was a Balinese style, wasn't it?
It was.
I think with all the heat, there was just this feeling of how nice it would be in and amongst that shade.
Yeah.
And that lusciousness.
It looked cool.
Yeah, it looked cool. Yeah.
Watching it on a screen, I felt the coolness of it.
Yes. You wanted to gravitate towards it.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting under there, I can feel this. Yeah, everything about it felt amazing.
Well, if you want to go and sit in the lovely shade of Sharon's tropical Balinese garden,
NGS,
you can do so through the NGS.
Yes.
And it is open on the 23rd of August. There's no need to book. You just turn up and pay on the day. Fantastic. And there'll be cake.
Score.
We have another Monty sweeping statement.
Sweeping statements,
What
Monty.
was the one from the other week? Was you're either a plant lover or a garden lover.
Yeah.
Well, this time, although he does recognise that it's potentially a sweeping statement, he says,
that's good.
You're either those that try and make their gardens an idealised version of where they are, or you're one of those who creates a garden that connects to somewhere where you've been.
Yeah.
Somewhere that kind of transports you.
Yeah.
He says he's very much the former, which we can see.
But at the same time, he then has kind of tropical areas and less
This
tropical
is
areas.
true.
And then what do you do if you're one of those people like Geoff Hamilton, who has a garden full of...
What does that make him?
Yeah. Yeah. What does that make him?
With all 38 gardens.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Monty, we get the point you're trying to make.
We
In
do.
his garden, he lets a lot of things self-seed.
Fennel.
Fennel being one of them.
I love fennel.
I do.
I think it's just stunning. Anyway, so he had all these excess. He had this excess of fennel, really,
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Well, you know what? I'm just going to kind of cut it back and pull up some of these." And then he was like, "I could chuck this on the compost heap, or I could shove it in this dustbin."
It looked amazing,
and it
though.
looked so cool, and it was this whopping statement in the middle of this kind of junction.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, there we go. That's the flower arrangement of the week done." And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that.
I wonder if he did just ram it in, or if there was a lot of sort of zhuzhing that took place. I'm sure he zhuzhed, but it looked absolutely gorgeous. It was such a simple idea, but very effective.
I love his, hey presto.
Yeah.
You've got a flower arrangement. Anyways, then he quickly drops by the woodland garden, just talking about how he's absolutely loving it and the plants are doing so well, even though it's kind of like dry shade at the moment.
Yeah.
They're
It's
just
the sort of space you really want, though, isn't it?
Oh, you
lovely and
so
cool.
need it. He also says how the orchard beds, they're not doing so well just because they're not getting enough water because the big trees around are just really sucking everything out.
Mm-hmm.
But he's talking about the mock orange, so he's cutting it back just to get the general shape and also to have it ready for the new flowers next year.
A bit more vigour.
Exactly. So he's cutting back the old wood because the new shoots that have come up will be the ones that will be bearing the flowers.
And then we join Carol Klein, who's looking at the relationship between roots and soil.
Yep.
And she has a look at her geranium pretense.
Yes. And also says hello to an orangium.
Yes. That's it. And she was going to move it, but saw its root system, and so is showing us. And what we basically see is just some roots.
Yep.
There was nothing groundbreaking right there.
No.
But it was a nice segue into why she needed to speak to a soil scientist.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another one of the series where Carol's sitting in her garden, at the garden table, and she's on her good old MacBook on FaceTime to some amazing scientist up in Nottingham. It's at the Hounslow facility again at Notts Uni.
Oh, is it?
That's who she was talking to. It wasn't this guy, it was Professor Malcolm Bennett. That was back on episode 11. This time it's Professor Sacha Mooney, and he's a professor in soil physics at the Uni of Nottingham.
Okie dokes.
He describes it as being like when you move into a new home. You've got the fixtures and fittings that might not be quite to your taste, and that's how it is for a new plant. A new plant will come into the soil, it'll rearrange its environment with its roots and to get a better outcome. And he said as the roots push down the soil, it releases this lubricant gel-like substance, which helps lubricate its root into the soil, but also, yes, it's called exudates. It's full of sugar. So it's the food for everything that lives in the soil.
All the microbes.
All those microbes. So they come, he said it's a bit like a party zone for them. They'll go, oh, yummy, nice
Drinks.
Sugars. Let's go, let's partay.
Yeah, exactly.
And he talks about how the different microbes perform different roles and it's all beneficial to the plant. So there's this nice kind of symbiotic relationship going on. So you've got some microbes that take nitrogen from the soil layer and convert that into nitrates. So that's a nice fertilizer for the plant.
Yep.
You get some microbes that attack and help release phosphates that are trapped in the soil. We didn't hear about any of the other microbes and what they do. I would love to know more about all that. It is very interesting, I think.
It's very, very cool.
But essentially, you've got this two-way partnership. And also with that exudates.
Yeah, that glue.
Yeah, so he calls it nature's glue. And he said it's sort of sticking particles together, which is really important because it makes soil aggregates. And those are the lumps and clumps that we see on the surface.
Yep.
He also says it creates the pores in the soil, so those gaps that sit between the particles, which is good for things like water retention and for improving kind of drought situations.
Yeah. And then says about how they explode.
Yes,
because there's trapped air.
Well, trapped CO2, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So all the CO2, it's like a build-up of the carbon dioxide, which, leads it to exploding into these tiny pieces. I'd love to have seen that because I'd like to know on what scale that's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what impact does that have on the plant? Also, because how big are these explosions? If you've got a big buildup of CO2 that explodes, does that then create an air pocket within the soil, which then isn't ideal for a plant?
Yeah,
a plant root, is it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Or is it those explosions that is creating?
I would have thought, actually, the explosion creates lots of debris that then falls back into the hole, so it kind of crumbles around, if you know what I mean. It makes it kind of thinner.
But we're so like when a mole's been through.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
But we're guessing, really, aren't we?
We are guessing. They didn't show much.
It was an unfinished story for me, and I recognise that there's only so much you can squeeze in, but it left me with more questions than answers, that section.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I did get the bit about the fungi that obviously they go where the roots can't. It's smaller, finer, and it can go further as well.
Yeah, and we know about that anyway, don't we?
We do.
But it is, what he summarises really is that as gardeners, the best thing we can do is leave the soil to it. So the whole no-dig movement, there's a lot of sense in that. And it explains a bit more, but not enough, about why that's a good way of managing your garden.
Then I think his final thing is that a single teaspoon of soil contains more microbes and living organisms than people on Earth, which is something, I think, a fact that we've heard.
We've heard that from Eddie from Rhizophilia, Eddie Bailey.
And I've looked it up a lot as well.
In fact, you get a bit more of the story if you listen to our chit-chat with Eddie.
Yeah, it's not quite so simple, but yeah.
Yeah, and also his segment on Gardener's World gives a bit more of the story, doesn't it?
It does, actually.
Yes, an interesting segment there with Carol. Monty is a digger, of course, so that's something for you to think about, Monts.
Yep.
Is he going to have courage of his convictions and carry on digging that soil? Or is he going to accept?
Yeah.
It's a bit like your granddad. I don't think he'll ever become no dig. No. He won't accept that. And you can't tell him either. It's like, no, this is how I've always done it. And I understand that. That's how you've always done it. But...
yeah, you can't teach an old dog tricks, can you?
You can't. But equally, you do have to evolve.
Yeah.
Anyway, Monty's in his veg garden and he's sowing some purple top turnips.
Yep.
Don't say that too close to the mic because your plosives will really kick off with that.
Turnip, purple top, and then beetroot chioggia as well will be going in that general area, because he had broad beans and peas, but they suffered in the heat. So he's putting these crops in. And the beetroot's really good because that can stay on the soil for longer than the turnips.
Yes, the turnips you want to harvest pretty soon. But equally, the plus side of them is they'll be ready for harvesting in October, so you don't have long to wait for those.
Exactly.
And he's sowing them 2 to 3 inches apart.
Mm-hmm.
He says, why grow beetroot? Because you can get them at the supermarket, which is the case for everything. But we have found the beauty of growing home beetroot is the incredible variety.
Especially the rainbows.
They are works of art, aren't they?
They are literally
slicing
works of art.
through the different types of beetroot is just one of the wonderful things in life when you have your own veg garden.
It's crazy cool.
And then we go to meet Peter Farrow in Chesterfield in North East Derbyshire to look at his amazing collection of gladioli.
Yeah.
You'll be too young to know about this, but there was an Aussie comedian called Dame Edna Everage.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a man but dressed as a woman.
Okay.
And she always carried onto the stage a bunch of gladioli.
Really?
He was a very, very, very funny man. I can't remember his actual name.
Oh,
but he would come and go, darlings, how are you, me possums? And he was always very rude to his guests, but did it in such a gentle way that they didn't even notice. But it was harmless. It was nice. It
wasn't nasty. It was
nothing nasty about it.
I like that type of comedy.
Brilliant. Anyway, he's synonymous with gladioli for me.
That's what I funny.
But Peter is nothing like Dame Edna Everage.
No.
But he does have 1,800 gladioli.
Oh, apparently that's reasonable.
That's reasonable. And he shows us the small and giant flower varieties.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have a whole variation. So you're going really from the miniatures to the mediums. You've got then the bigs, and then you've got the giants. And the giants are absolutely crazy. He says the miniatures, they're better for a garden. You don't have to stake them so much.
A lot of staking on this segment, wasn't there?
Yeah, crazy staking. Whereas the giants are really for people who are creating collections.
Yes.
Really are into, who have an obsession
showing them.
Yeah, exactly.
Which he is, of course.
Yeah. Now, one thing about this segment which I could not understand, usually when we have someone who has a collection, we see a whole load of varieties and they show off a whole load of different gladioli. Yeah. We only got one on this section.
That was the pink elegance.
Exactly.
That was it.
And I was so sad. This was a a large flower variety.
Yes.
Bottom florets are about 4 to 5 inches across. Really easy one to grow, apparently. But I was just really sad that we didn't get to see any others.
You were looking forward to a list of them.
I'm none the wiser about what gladioli to get.
No, exactly. Apart from that one.
And
then you don't want that one because you've got to stake it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. I hadn't picked up on that.
So I was like, what was kind of... Not what was the point of this section, but
no,
why didn't they show us more?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, Peter talks about how they're members of the Iris family. Yep. Gladius means sword in Latin, and he shows the sword-like leaves.
Yep.
You get 7 leaves. Once 7 leaves are grown, then the flower spike starts to grow.
Exactly.
And he said, if you want perfection, there's a 1-day window. The secret of good gladioli is in the prep of the corms.
Getting them out of the dormancy.
That's it. So what was his process for that?
Yeah, so once you've got the bulbs, you want to first of all kind of take off that sheath, papery covering of it, lay them down so that they're kind of all nicely spaced out so that they can see the light, feel the light generally.
Yes.
And they'll wake up, they'll get a little sprout, and then once you see that little sprout, then you put them in the soil.
That's it.
Because the amount of time people just whack them into the soil and then like, I ain't got any gladioli.
Yeah. Which I think might have happened to us in the early days because I got some cheap ones in a little sort of set of bulbs.
Yeah, exactly.
I just whack them in the ground. And that whole process is 2 to 3 weeks. So it's worth doing all that prep before it all goes in.
Yeah.
And then they need good drainage, don't they? So he says sand is good. He puts that below.
Yep.
And they also need feeding with fish blood and bone liquid feeds. So
they need a base dressing at first.
Yes.
When you put them in. And then they need one maybe once or twice once they're kind of flowering and looking good, just to keep that general colour.
And regular watering.
Exactly. Water plenty. It says otherwise they're really easy.
And he'll spend 2.5 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours in the evening doing all of that. And then he has more to do the next day. Yes. And then all that staking. He says at one point, no, it's not boring. So clearly a producer off camera had said, something like,
is that boring?
Don't you find that boring? Or is that boring? Or ever get bored? Because that was quite defensively, no, it's not boring.
Yeah, exactly. Ever get bored of filming?
And we see that he's prepping for the Southport show.
Yeah, he does a lot of shows.
Yes, that seems to be his life. And he's being judged on the Thursday morning, so he's cutting on the Tuesday morning.
Exactly, because apparently 2 florets open per day, so he should get the perfect amount for Thursday.
Cotton wool used to spread the florets.
Yep.
And then for transport as well. And he shows how he floofs the flowers until they're ready to be judged.
Yes.
Quite a high maintenance plant.
Yes.
I really like the idea of them growing in amongst grasses. Can you imagine if you had tall grasses?
It's like camasses.
And yes, and those kind of wafting.
They do.
But regardless, I just don't think
they're not really wafters.
No, I was going to say I don't think they would work in our garden because it's just too dry and free draining.
Exactly.
But it likes free draining. But it also, if you've got to water it all the time, we're not going to do that.
No.
But that on their own, I think because there's Dame Edna Everage, that still sticks in my mind. So I see them as a bit in your face. But if I saw them diluted with wafting grasses, I think that could look gorgeous. I wonder how they're growing in the wild.
If they do.
Well, finally, with Peter, he says one of the things he loves about the shows is meeting up with friends, which does sound lovely. And we hear that a lot. There's real nice camaraderie, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
These shows. And at the National, he won 6 out of 10 first prizes and a silver trophy. So well done, Peter.
Pride of place on the mantelpiece.
Apparently, Monty's mother used to grow it as a cut flower.
Yes.
They're not quite Monty's thing, but what is
irises.
His bearded irises.
Yes. He's lifting them up. He says you have to divide regularly just to get that really good flowering season. So he's really digging up a nice big clump. You kind of keep the rhizome on the top of the soil if it's not getting baked too much. But we have heard that in the Mediterranean they bury them a little bit more because it is getting so scorchio.
And we're heading that way, aren't we?
So bury a little bit more. Anyway, so he's just generally trimming back some of the roots, not the rhizome. Do not cut back the rhizome.
No.
And then cutting back the leaves just so that they don't rock in the wind. And then you just whack them back in the soil. It is so easy to do. I did it with ours and they're looking amazing.
It takes very little care.
Mm-hmm.
You can just, because you were quite young and quite haphazard back then when you did them.
Oh, yes, I was.
They're doing great.
They're doing
you wouldn't know that they'd been attacked by a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Then we've got jobs for the weekend.
Yes.
Cut back your euphorbias, feed chili plants and mulch beds. And then finally, Monty's watering the garden. He says that's been the main theme. Mm-hmm. Not for us. We haven't watered a single thing apart from the veg.
Touched it.
And of course he says water the soil, not the plant.
Very importante.
And that's the episode. So Sweet Pea, your favourite plant?
It was the Niphophia mango popsicle.
Because of the name? Or no, you liked
the name and the plant itself.
Okay.
I thought it was really pretty, and I as we said, don't really like our red hot pokers, so would love to get this one.
Well, do you think we should consider getting in some of those nicer types?
I think we should.
We do know that our red hot pokers, regardless of what you say about them, they thrive on our hill.
Do.
They're very, very happy. They're spreading.
Yep.
They're strong.
They are really strong.
So should we get some of this mango, whatever it's called?
Mango popsicle.
And whack some of those in. Also, it flowers later. We need some flowers this time of year because we're really lacking.
We are lacking.
It's not a good time of year for us on the colour front.
But it does that every year, and then we get this second flurry in September when it looks amazing.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we should not consider making this time of year nice as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. What's your favourite plant?
That dandelion tree at Sharon's place. I really like the look of that.
The sumptuous.
And your top takeaway?
Create a fennel arrangement.
In a dustbin.
In a dustbin. There we go.
Well, my top takeaway was about the soil and roots relationship, not because I feel I got an awful lot from this section, but because it's raised lots of questions for me. So I'd like to hear from someone. I'd love Garden as well to do a bit more on it and to go into a bit more depth. You know, since they're doing a series of these things with Carol, there's space then, isn't there, for her 7 or 8 minute segment over a number of weeks through 2026 that continues the story on.
I think so.
And answers those questions.
Yeah.
But failing that, maybe we get someone on a chit chat, one of these professors. And
yep, that would be a good idea, actually.
Well, we have a Gardener's World next week on the 7th of August.
With Francis.
Yes, that's right. Francis Tophill returns to Damson Farm in Bath and spends the day with owner Alison and a very special guest, Dame Mary Berry.
Oh.
Returning to the city where she grew up and went to school, Mary shares how the landscapes and countryside around Bath nurtured a lifelong love of gardening and the great outdoors. Together, they share practical gardening advice and celebrate the very best of summer, harvesting homegrown fruit, vegetables, and flowers at their seasonal peak. Francis has advice on how to create a wild corner that's both beautiful and beneficial for wildlife while collecting seeds for future displays. Arita Anderson visits an inspiring urban edible garden in London, and there's a city gardener transforming a compact space into a thriving haven for wildlife. Toby Buckland shares clever ways to extend the growing season and make the most of summer harvests.
Oh, his sections are fantastic.
You like his sections. Yep. And in Birmingham, there's a visit to a predominantly Punjabi allotment community where growing exceptional produce is intertwined with family, culture and tradition, creating plots that are as productive as they are beautiful.
Well, that sounds blooming amazing.
Oh, I'm very interested in that allotment one. I'm very interested in seeing how Toby Buckland's getting on.
Yeah, those two sections I'm really looking forward to.
I would love to see more of Francis's garden.
I know, we haven't seen
lovely little garden
it at all.
She was developing.
It's a shame.
Anyway, if you would like to get in touch, you've got any questions or comments about this episode, then please do so. You can do that through the contacts page on our website, which is
notjustagarden.co.uk,
or through our email address, which is
notjustagarden@outlook.com.
We can do that bit in our sleep now.
We can. Oh, I'm going to sleep going notjustagarden.co.uk.
And then if you do head over to our website, you will see some links to various things that we've talked about on this episode. And also you can subscribe if you put your email into the subscribe box on each page, or just on one page, but it's available on each page.
Exactly.
Then you'll receive emails with all the links and you'll get first dibs of the episode.
Exactly.
And of course, if you do want it ad-free, then head over to our Patreon. You'll find the ad-free ones there. And of course, with the email that you receive when you subscribe, you will get Sweet Pea's beautiful plant lists.
Yeah, which is a little bit smaller this week.
This week it's only one page worth, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But it's still got all the plant names.
Right, Sweet Pea. Well, I'm off.
Oh, just off. Okay, goodbye then. Shall see you later.
So we'll see you next time.
Sure will. Thank you for listening.
Bye bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mo Bear.